Hey there, YouTube. This is No Left Grimjar from the Shadow Games. I'm coming at you today with the ZW deck profile. It's a really fun deck. I have a lot of fun with it. It's a really powerful deck as well. It gears itself towards the ZW OTK. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it real quick, and so I'm not taking up a lot of your guys' time. I run 2 Cyber Dragons, 3 the Trickies, 2 Quick Draw Synchrons, 2 Photon Thrashers, 3 Goblin Dirges, 3 Star Drawings, 2 Tornado Bringers, 2 Lightning Blades, 2 Phoenix Bows, 2 V Salamanders, and 2 Unicorn Spheres. I run 1 Honest and 1 Summoner Monk. I run a Rhoda, Book of Moon, Dark Hole, 2 MSTs, 2 Instant Fusions, 2 the Limited Variance Force, 2 Call of the Haunted, a Compulse, 1 Torrential, 1 Solemn Warning, and then 2 Reborns. My extra deck consists of course, the main build is the 3 Utopias, 2 Utopia Rays, 2 Utopia Ray Vs, 2 Lion Arms, and then it gets a little bit interesting. I run 1 Heroic Champion Excalibur, a Tyrius, and an Adrius, and a Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, my Ojama Knight, and a Darkfire Dragon. The side deck is a Summoner Monk, 1 Thunder King Ryo because he's limited to 1 now, 2 Veilers, 2 Maxis, 2 Snowman Eaters, 2 Lances, Forbidden Lance, 2 Forbidden Chalice, and 2 Deep Prisons. So it's a really good deck. It plays really well. The only thing I have issues with is my Cyber Dragons. 9 times out of 10, or I'm not going to say 9 times out of 10, a lot of the times between the Cyber Dragon and the Photon Thrashers, they're dead draws because they require you not to have a monster on your side of the field for them to be special. Like I said, it's a really big dead draw when you get them. You've already got monsters on the field. However, they can be used to discard for the Tricky and Quick Draw Synchron instead of having to discard any of your weapon pieces down here instead. Goblin Dirge is really the powerhouse between Goblin Dirge and Star Drawing. Those are the 2 cards, the powerhouses of the deck. They keep you alive, they get you Utopia really fast, and they allow you to draw free cards. Goblin Dirge, gives you that extra special, it gives you that summon, and then Star Drawing allows you to draw a card when you exceed with it. And because Star Drawing it can be treated as a level 5, if you get Tricky out and then you have Star Drawing, you can go ahead and special Tricky, summon Star Drawing, go into Leo Arms, Lion Arms, and get a free draw. So, like I said, it works out really well. The main weapons here, I keep you've got to keep Tornado Bringer, you've got to keep Lightning Blade. I noticed a lot of people that, when I was first building the idea, when I first got the idea and I started building it, I was going off of people's ideas and what they were using for deck builds. And I noticed a lot of people really don't use the Phoenix Bow a lot. Really because I've noticed they don't like using Utopia Ray. They just like using Utopia. However, if you go ahead and use Utopia Ray, you kind of get a little bit better bonus because Lightning Blade and Bringer both can equip to Utopia Ray. The only downside is Phoenix Bow and Unicorn Spear can only be equipped to C39 Utopia Ray, whereas Bringer and Blade can be equipped to any Utopia monster, and V Salamander can only be equipped to Utopia Ray V. So, you got to keep your options open. V Salamander is a rank 4 or level 4, so I can use him with Goblin Dirge, and so is Unicorn Spear. They're both rank 4 or level 4, so I can use them for Goblin Dirge to get Utopia out and keep it kind of fast enough. I run the 1 Honest because Utopias and Lion Arms are all light. And there's, my Cyber Dragon's a light, my Thrasher's a light, and then, of course, Unicorn Spear's a light. But I really run him in there for my Utopias. And he's level 4, so if I need to, I can go use him with Goblin Dirge to go into a Utopia. The 1 Summoner Monk, I main the 1 Summoner Monk because I do have quite a few spells. And I don't want to use them. Like, if I get one, and I have a Goblin Dirge, I'd go ahead and use Goblin Dirge, special Summoner Monk. And then if I've got spells in hand, I'll go ahead and ditch them for Summoner Monk's effect, and then go ahead and start exceeding really quickly. I run the 1 Rhoda because Rhoda will get me either my Thrasher or my Goblin Dirge. Those are really the only 2 that they can get out. So I'm not opening. If I open with a Rhoda and then that's it, that's all I've got, I can go ahead and do it and get Goblin Dirge and set up for my next turn. Of course, Book of Moon's making its comeback now. It's going to be one of those new staples. Dark Hole, of course, is a staple. The 2 MSTs, the 2 instant fusions to go ahead and either get Ojama Knight or Darkfire Dragon. So I can go ahead and exceed a little quickly. Limited Barion's Force to go ahead and get Utopia Ray V. 2 Call of the Haunted because, come on, you don't want to go ahead and if your first turn you have a Triggy, a Quick Draw, and a Cyber Dragon. You can ditch your Cyber Dragon for Quick Draw, and then you discard something else for Tricky. And then if you got Call of the Haunted, you can just use it for Cyber Dragon or something else like that. It runs itself really well. I mained the 1 Compulse. I'm pretty sure it was limited to 1. I'm not sure. This deck profile was updated so it mimics the new September 1st ban list. However, in Def Pro, they haven't updated it yet. That's why it still shows Thunder King at 2, Torrential at 2, but Monster Reborn on the Heavy Storm is not in here because I already had removed it. Compulse will get around stuff like Stardust and stuff like that, so it helps out. It keeps your field safe. 1 Torrential, just in case you get overwhelmed. 1 Solemn Warning, and then 2 Reborns. The Reborns really help out a lot. They help out, especially because if something happens to my Lion Arms, I can just Reborn him with XYZ Reborn. He's got a material now. I can discard the material and get one of my weapons, and then instantly go from that and attach him to one of my Utopias. Like I said, it runs really well. I think I've gotten my Utopia Ray V up to 10,000. No, it was 11,100 is what he's been up to. So he was really powerful, and then of course he's got his effect where I discarded or detached the material, and then instantly obliterated my opponent. You all know what Utopia does. You know what Utopia Ray does, and Utopia Ray V. For those of you who don't know, Lion Arms, he cannot attack your opponent directly. Once per turn, you can detach a material to add a weapon, a ZW monster from your deck to your hand, and then you can also target 1 Utopia monster you control and equip this monster to that target on the field. It gains 3,000 attack. During the battle phase, if a monster attacked this turn while this monster was equipped to it, you can send this equipped card to the graveyard, and then that monster that was equipped with this card can make a second attack on an opponent's monster during the battle phase. I run Heroic Champion Excalibur. The only reason why I do is because there have been a couple times where I've gotten Thrasher and Goblin Dirge, or I've opened up with 2 Goblin Dirges, and I need something quickly. I don't really use him that often, but he has been used a couple times. Tears, I don't really use. I use Adrius more than I do Tears, because there's no downside to Adrius. It's just you detach, you blow up a face-up card on the field. The Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon has saved my life a couple times. There was a couple days ago where I was playing a tag match, and both the people I was playing against were running a gear deck, so they had a lot of machines on the field. I specialed my Cyber Dragon, instantly went in Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, and my Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon was already at like $4,000, which was able to get over all their bigger stuff. And then, of course, Ojama Knight and then Darkfire Dragon to kind of keep for your instant fusions. I side deck the Summoner Monk and Thunder King Ryo for added support in case something happens, as well as a few more spells. I side in Effect Veilers instead of maining them because I feel like they'd be a dead draw for me. I don't need that in this deck. I need to be able to consistently go in and just annihilate when I need to. The 2 Max Seeds and the 2 Snowman Eaters. If God forbid if something happens and I go up against a deck where they're doing a lot of attacking, he's a nice replacement for some of my weapon material, like my V Salamanders if I'm not getting into them fast enough, and my Phoenix Bow or my Unicorn Spear. I can go ahead and ditch them and put in my Snowman Eaters, and then I've got added support. 2 Lances, select a face-up monster on the field until the end phase. It loses 800 attack, but it's also unaffected by other spell and trap cards. So it runs really well. It'll keep your monsters safe from like Dark Hole and Torrential and stuff like that. And then, of course, you've got Forbidden Chalice where that monster gains 400 attack, but its effect is negated until the end phase. So, if you go ahead and, if you got Utopia Ray, you activate his effect, go ahead and blow up your monster's card, and then you could activate Forbidden Challenge. He gets that 400 point boost. It may or may not be enough though. It's one of those risks. And then I side in 2D prisons because it'll get through a lot of stuff. But like I said, this deck's really powerful. It runs really well for me. I enjoy it. I have fun with it, and it's just OP as I don't know what. But if you guys see anything, or if you guys have any suggestions for me to change it a little bit, I'm open for suggestions to see how it plays. Put your comments down in the comment section below. Like, subscribe for my channel and video. There's always going to be new videos coming out. And I'm also going to be doing kind of like a card ruling section as well, where if you guys have any questions about it, I'm going to go ahead and start with this video. If you guys have questions about rulings, go ahead and comment below or PM me, and I'll get into looking in for you guys. I have a couple ruling questions of my own that I'm trying to get answered. It's really about the Phoenix Bone, the Unicorn Spear, because I've noticed in Dev Pro they won't allow me to equip them to Utopia Ray V, even though he is he's number C39 Utopia Ray. But it's one of those things where it's kind of you've got to read into the card a little bit. It's a long story. So like I said, comment on the video. Let me know what you guys think, and No Life Grimjaw for the Shadow Games. Catch you.